South Jamaica, baby, they made me to be the greatest. Serving the deed of my creators. Fresh off of my high haters. It's the king again. Magdalene, chauffeured, bragging and boasting.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Dollars. Welcome back to the channel. It's another day, another dollar video. And I'm going to be reacting to the war in London. Active Gang versus 51st Street. This is the new video from Hip Hop Daily. I just reacted to the Honeycomb Brazy story. Now we're going to check this one out. I just seen that this came out today on YouTube. So I'm like, you know what? Might as well check it out. It's brand new. Let's see if there's any other information from this that I haven't seen in other videos. And let's hop in this joint and check it out.
The UK drill scene has exposed the world to all kinds of crimes going on in the streets of London. One of the deadliest beefs is an ongoing war between two gangs in the borough of Camden, Active Gang and 51st. Let's take a closer look at what's going on.
It's not
Camden
borough, they
is
say
an area
borough.
in North London outside of the Regent's Park. It's considered one of London's most modern neighborhoods, and many famous celebrities live there. But over the past few years, it's become a battleground. It's
crazy how it's
war
outside the
between two
richest
gangs.
part of London.
Unlike the US, London don't have as many large national gangs like the Crips and Bloods. Instead, they have small local gangs that are based in certain neighborhoods and often identify themselves by the local postcode. These gangs are also often tied to the local drill scene, and many include popular rappers as members. The main beef in Camden is between two neighborhood gangs, Active Gang and 51st. Active Gang is a group made up of primarily Somali immigrants based in the Acre Grove estate in Camden. Several popular drill rappers are part of Active Gang, including artists like Suspect, Too Smoky, and T-Scam. They're also allied with other local gangs like FSG, CT1, and NRB. Together, they call themselves 71st. 51st is an alliance of several different groups that are all known to beef with Active Gang. They include the Peckwater Gang from the Peckwater Estate, the QC Gang from Queens Crescent, and Cumbo, a gang from the Regent Park Estate and Cumberland Market. Together, they're known as 51st because the local postcodes in the area end in 5 and 1. They're larger than Active Gang, but both sides have proven to be just as savage. It's not clear exactly where the beef started.
Oh, so they're larger than Active Gang. I never knew that. I thought Active Gang was largest. You know what it is? They have more rappers probably, so that's why I thought that.
Some of them grew up together and were cool before the drama, but at some point, they started having problems and it eventually escalated to violence. According to rumors, it all started over someone getting their watch stolen, but this can't be confirmed. The violence between the two groups started to pop off in the late 2010s. In May 2017, 3 members of 51st were shot by members of Active Gang. Camden police officers were called to the scene of a shooting near Camden Road, but found no victims in the area. About 15 minutes later, they got a call from the staff at the University College London Hospital saying 2 men had shown up with gunshot wounds and were being aggressive. Following the shooting, they managed to run to a nearby hospital to get treatment, but when they arrived, the staff got suspicious and called the cops. Police came to the hospital to investigate, but when the 2 victims realized what was going on, they refused treatment and tried to flee. They was eventually arrested after a brief chase on foot. Another team was also later arrested in connection with the shooting
trying to flee
and
when
also
you
refused
shot?
treatment. All 3 were later charged with
It's going to be easy to find you. All they got to do is follow the blood trail if you're leaking. You know what I'm saying? And if you get shot, you better hope you don't bleed to death.
suspicion of causing grievous bodily harm with intent for their involvement in the shooting. Not long after, 51st got payback and shot a member of Active Gang in the head with a shotgun. Around 7 p.m. on August 22nd, 2017, police responded to a call about a shooting in the Agar Grove area. But again, when they arrived, they ain't find a victim at the scene. A witness said she heard 2 loud bangs, screaming, and tires screeching. She looked outside and saw a man who had just been shot in the head. At the time, he was alive, but bleeding everywhere. He then got in a car with 2 other men and they took off. According to authorities, the man later took himself to the hospital and was supposedly in stable condition. No arrests were made, but police believe it was linked to the triple shooting that happened back in May. The violence only continued after a fight at an Airbnb party that left 1 member of 51st dead after being stabbed 14 times. On February 17, 2018, a 16-year-old girl was having a birthday party at an Airbnb in Kensington. She promoted the party on Snapchat and invited around 50 people that she knew, but word got around town.
That's why you got to be careful when you go to these parties, because you don't know if these chicks that's throwing the party are inviting other people, your ops. You know, they'll make a post and just let anybody come to the party. Like, you know, if you're doing a party, you got to screen, make sure that the people that's coming is people that you know that you want to be there, not just any random person.
Town and members of rival gangs showed up. A group of dudes from 51st, including a 19-year-old known as Dottie, decided to crash the party. When they got there, they tried to force their way in and cause damage to the apartment. Some guests ended up hopping over a back wall to escape. They came to the party armed, and Dottie had a knife, but one of his friends had a gun. But somehow, they got Dottie by himself and chased him out of the party. He was chased down the road, but was stopped by.
Oh yeah, I remember that. The guy went over there to start shit, but he's the one that ends up getting packed.
Huge group. Once they caught up with him, they stabbed him a total
You brought
of 14
that on
times.
yourself. Like, how can we feel bad for you?
And two
Like,
minors were later arrested.
you went there to do harm and it got done
After
to
Dottie's
you.
death, members from 51st got in a stolen BMW and drove around different hoods in London looking for whoever was responsible, but they couldn't find their target. So, when they returned to Camden, they went on a killing spree and took out 2 active gang affiliates. The first was a 17-year-old who went by the name AK, who was stabbed to death after being spotted by members of 51st outside an apartment building on Aldenham Street. About 90 minutes later,
wasn't AK cool with 51st and Active Gang? Because I remember when I did the reaction to Camden, the war in Camden, I think that's what it was called. That's what they mentioned. He was cool with both sides or some shit like that. Or somebody in the comments told me that.
blocks away from where the first stabbing took place, a 20-year-old named Sadiq was also fatally attacked with a samurai sword on Bartholomew Road. The victim tried to escape in a nearby cab, but the driver refused to take him to safety, so he ended up getting stabbed by the gang multiple times.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. To me, there's something more savage about stabbing and slicing people, because you gotta get up close and personal. To put in that kind of work on somebody with a knife or something, like, it takes a different kind of savage to do that, because anybody could pull a trigger from far away, but to actually get up close on somebody and poke them, I don't know.
He said the 2 stabbings were connected and were committed by the same group of men in the blue van. An 18-year-old was later charged with both murders. According to his mother, Sadiq tried to call her after he was attacked and left a message on her phone saying, "I'm wounded." She also said he was a good kid who was studying business at Middlesex University and worked part-time at Tesco. Sadiq wasn't the only son she had lost to the knife. Her son Muhammad, aka Mitch, was killed the previous year, and her nephew had also been stabbed to death in 2013.
And her nephew?
They was all 20 years old at the time they died. Mitch was also killed in the beef between Active Gang and 51st. On the morning of September 4th, 2017, he ran into a dude from 51st named Eric Eckham, aka Flips, on Hampstead Road. They got into a fight, and Flips ended up pulling out a large kitchen knife, stabbing Mitch multiple times. An undercover cop saw it all happen and went and arrested Flips for the murder. He was later convicted and sentenced to 17 years in prison for the crime. All these high-profile killings attracted the attention of the police, who started cracking down on both sides. But that ain't stopped the beef completely. The next attack came in 2019 when an 18-year-old from 51st was stabbed in the head after being ran over. The victim was alone walking by himself along Hampstead Road in Camden before being ambushed around 1 a.m. First, he was knocked over by a car. Then the dudes inside the car got out and started stabbing.
I'm not gonna lie, when you hear stories like this, that makes me realize just like how your life could change in a split second, bro. You could be walking thinking that it's just any other day, and then boom, that's when it's your time. Like, you going to the store, the little things that we take for granted, like, you never know. You could just be minding your business and something just comes towards you that you got nothing to do with. You could be an innocent bystander. It's just crazy, bro. Like,
stabbing him repeatedly before getting back in and fleeing the scene.
Never take nothing for granted, man. Don't take life for granted,
with multiple serious injuries, including a stab wound to the head. He survived, but the doctor said he sustained life-changing injuries. Active Gang continued looking for payback and allegedly committed another murder of a 51st affiliate later that year. On April 1st, 2018, a 22-year-old named Calvin Bungisa, aka C-Miz, was murdered by 4 hooded attackers in white masks. C-Miz was chased from Vickers Road to Grafton Road, where he was eventually killed. Surveillance footage from the area showed the suspects fleeing in a dark-colored VW and speeding through a traffic light. The footage also shows them driving to Court Gardens, where police found the car had been set on fire and abandoned. C-Miz's family is from the Congo and fled to the UK to escape the war in their native country. Active Gang dropped a song called Congo, featuring Arms and Too Smoky, which is allegedly a diss of C-Miz. The beef then reached a peak after the murder of a 16-year-old rapper affiliated with 51st named Culprit. On August 12, 2019, a group of 6 Active Gang members was cruising around Fitzrovia and Euston Road in 2 stolen cars.
Yeah, I think they said he was also like a good soccer player, that he could have made it, but he decided to be in the gang shit.
Around 10:30 p.m., Culprit and a group of friends left a restaurant on Bolsover Street. They must have seen the group coming because they ran away and hid in the building near Euston Road. About 30 minutes later, the 2 cars pulled up to an estate on Lumford Street and ran into the buildings looking for Culprit and the rest of the group. Culprit ended up getting cornered by 3 AG members and chased to Munster Square, where they caught up to him and stabbed him to death. Apparently, 2 people held him down, while the 3rd member stabbed him in the chest with a huge zombie knife. Both cars were later found set on fire in different locations. Police quickly launched an investigation and used CCTV footage and cell data to track the killers. They eventually arrested a 19-year-old AG member named Arif Biomi in connection with the murder. He was later convicted and sentenced to life in prison, even though he was only the driver. Another AG member named Yusuf was also arrested for assisting an officer and sentenced to 3 years in prison after admitting to helping Arif set the 2 cars on fire. Culprit was an aspiring rapper and football player who had a bright future ahead of him, but he ended up getting caught in the gang life. Before his death, he was also thought to be involved in the murder of a 17-year-old named Nadeem Biljan, who was stabbed to death earlier that year. Culprit's death was a huge loss to 51st, so they was thirsty for revenge. The incident set off a wave of violence that took the lives of multiple people over 5 days, including innocent bystanders. On September 8, 2019, a 24-year-old man named Wilson Valera was killed in a drive-by near Queens Crescent. Valera was from an entirely different neighborhood and had no affiliation to any gangs in the area. But members from Active Gang thought he was from 51st, so he was killed in the case of mistaken identity. Just 4 days later, a 25...
I ain't gonna lie, that's gotta be one of the worst ways to go. Mistaken identity? That's a fear of mine, because people always say, yo, you look like this person, you remind me. I'm like, I don't want to look like anybody, you know, because I don't know if that person did you dirty or did something to you and you're looking for him. You feel me? I always get that, yo, you look like this guy, or you look like somebody I know. Nah, bro, I'm not that person, you know, bro. Like, I don't ever want to get caught up in no mistaken identity shit, or especially with police. Like, they lock you up for a mistaken identity for something that they think you did, you had no involvement with.
5-year-old AG member named Asad Yarrow, aka Nuts, was killed outside the Camden tube station. He and his friend were spotted by members of 51st and attacked with machetes. Nuts died after getting stabbed in the neck. 2 men were later arrested in connection with the murder, but released on bail. According to his family, before his death, Nuts had dreams of leaving the UK for Canada or to start a business in Somalia. But before that could happen, he became a victim to gang violence. The beef between 51st and Active Gang continues to this day with no end in sight. Many fans are just getting exposed to the war because of the rise of UK drill. The popularity of the music has also brought attention from the police, which has slowed down the beef a little. But who knows when another act of violence will lead to a retaliation and set the war off.
Alright, man, that's the video right there. This shit just makes me think about, like, why do things like this happen? Like, why is there so much evil in the hood? Why is there so much violence and people killing each other, and over what though? Like, what is it really over? Yo, the devil's winning, man. Society's down bad, bro. It's not even society, it's just the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there's bad parts in regular neighborhoods too, and you know, there's evil everywhere. But in the hood, like, at the end of the day, we should be helping each other. We should be trying to build together. We should be united against the real enemy, bro. But meanwhile, the real enemy got us beefing with each other, and over what? The dumbest things, man. Because it really don't be over nothing, bro. Like, it'll be a small thing that leads to something serious. Somebody dies, and now it's just get back. Oh, you killed him, I gotta kill you. He died, oh, we gotta get back. Now, it all stems from one little small thing that was really not that serious. People killing each other over watches. Bro, that's material shit, bro. Like, you could get that yourself. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna always want what you have, but yeah, it is what it is, man. This video didn't really provide nothing that I didn't know already, because I did the Camden video, War in Camden. Pretty much the same shit. You know, I thought this was gonna be like an updated version of new situations that's going down. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. It's your boy Dollars. I holla at y'all. If there's any other videos you would like me to react to, let me know down in the comments. I holla.
For my time goes by, they gon' raise a nigga jersey in the sky. Treat a nigga right, big dreaming on my life. Shorty wanna get some air, I go and get her when I fly. Taking off on these niggas I retire. The minute I catch fire, I smoked them all before, just revisiting the high.